right, 10 a.m. here in Spain. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Afonso Solac. I'm civil engineering, and I work for the Department of Software Development of CYPE. And during this journey, I'll be here during the next 90 minutes probably, sharing with you something more about the version 2021 that we just released it during the past week. Okay, so this is the second webinar that we are presenting. Yesterday we made the first one that was we have just been listing the main features of this new release of CYPE, and today our mission, our objective is going to be take a look on CYPE Architecture. That is a new software that we just released, a new free software actually. That is a software for 3D modeling to architectural BIM models. So we'll be taking a look on that, doing some examples, and looking at the possibilities that we have to interact with other CYPE tools. Okay, so this image that you see in your screen at this moment is a train station that was made on CYPE Architecture. So the geometry, it's quite nice. We can have a lot of arcs and organic forms. Okay, and we will take a look on the tools that we have in this application and see what we can do with that. Okay, if this is your first presentation, the first webinar that you are coming with us, just to put this, we like to show this little scheme here. So we are talking about four main pieces of a workflow to develop Open BIM project. Okay, first we have the architectural model. We are talking about this today, CYPE Architecture. Okay, then we have the softwares for calculation, analysis, design. Okay, structures, plumbing facilities, electrical facilities, HVAC. We need to have interoperability between these applications using Open BIM or open formats, IFC, for example, BC3, using, in this case, the platform that we have on the cloud that is called BIMserver.center. And then if we need, we can add objects to our project. In this case, we have some products that is under this brand that are the Open BIM systems. Okay, so today we will be talking about this little guy here, that is CYPE Architecture. As I said before, it's a freeware tool. You don't have to pay for use that, and it's available since, I don't know, maybe 10 days ago. It's very, very new. Okay, so the first thing that we can do is just take a look where we can download this software. Okay, so if you don't know nothing about BIMserver.center, this platform that we have on the cloud, I will just log out here. You just have to search for BIMserver.center or BIMserver.center on Google, and you find this platform here. Okay, the platform is available on this all these languages here. You can choose the best language that fits you. And if you don't have an account here, you can create it. It's very easy. You just have to register here. It's for free. You don't have to pay for that. And then you can have your account to use this common data environment to send and receive information between all the softwares that we have here on CYPE and other softwares that we could use with this Open BIM technology. Okay, not just softwares from CYPE, but softwares from other manufacturers too. Okay, here, once you have your account, you can accede to some information that we have here. For example, you can accede in our store. You can accede in our mobile applications. You can download the synchronizer that is used to send and receive information to the platform. You can see our blog, the statistics of the platform. Okay, so here's some information that you have available here, and we'll open the first one, that is the store. Actually, the name is store, but we have a lot of free tools here. So we have some of them that are paid, some of them that are for free. Okay, and the store, it's organized with this carousels. So these lines, they are separated in categories. So we have this one that is the new features. Actually, CYPE Architecture is the last one that we have here. Okay. Then we have here, for example, manufacturer systems, just with softwares that have a brand. There are most of them are for free. We have a category just for free softwares, the most popular softwares, just for structural analysis, view of quantities, electrical systems, HVAC, telecommunications, plumbing. We have a lot of categories here. I'll leave this link on the chat, and you can accede to this store at any moment and download, for example, CYPE Architecture if you want. Okay, so you just have to click here on CYPE Architecture or search for CYPE Architecture here if you don't find it on the last features and the new features. Okay, and then download the software from here. Okay, so the software is available in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese. Okay, I think maybe this language, I don't remember exactly. You have just to download it, WinZip, and install, run the setup. Okay, so it's quite easy. I already have the software running on my computer. So the first window that you have when you open this software is this one here. Okay, so we have this file menu, this file window here, this file panel here, where we can create a new file or manage the files that we have in our computer, or even we can open some examples that we have on the program. We can see a list of the recent files that we have on this computer, some documentation that are available here. And here we have a panel that is the connection between this program and the BIMserver.center platform. Okay, so here I will log in using the same credentials that I have on the platform. And when I install this software, I will install this little guy here that is the BIMserver.center sync, BIMserver.center synchronizer. Okay, so this synchronizer, it's a common tool that is available to all the tools that are connected to the platform. And here we can select from those projects that we have on the platform, which project we want to synchronize with this computer that we are working. So at this moment, I have a lot of projects in my account, but I'm just synchronizing these guys here with this computer, just 11 projects, because it will be too much. It will be a lot of files uploading, downloading at any time, and I don't need to do that. So just this last projects that I am working, I can select this projects here. Okay, and now we will create a new project, and this application will be the bridge between the CYPE Architecture and the platform, and then could be the bridge between the platform and other softwares or other people that will be working with us in the same project. Okay, so here we have to log in using the same credentials that we have on the platform and that we use it here on CYPE Architecture. Okay, all the files that we have, this Open BIM files, these IFC files, DC3s, DXF files that we are sending to BIMserver.center, we are storing this information on the cloud. But we also have a local copy that is available for default on this this folder here. We can change it. So if you want, you can change it for another folder in your computer. Okay, that's okay. So I have here, I will just create a new file. It's going to be my example. Today is 21st of July. Okay, so create this little example here. We could add in a description. I will maintain empty. And here we have this this first question. Select a project that you would like to work. So add a new IFC, in this case, the architectural model, to a project that you already have created before on BIMserver.center, or create a new project. So I'll create a new project. I'll give a name, for example, the same name, example 21st of July. And we can classify this project as a professional project, as a test project, as other projects. We can maintain this project not visible on the platform, or just visible to my contacts, or visible to all the contacts of BIMserver.center. For example, if I'm looking for someone to work with me in this project, I could maintain this visibility open or project visible in BIMserver.center, and maybe someone could see this project and then ask to work with me. So we have these possibilities with BIMserver.center. In this case, it's just an example. I will put it not visible. And if I want, I can receive or not these requests. If someone would like to collaborate in my project, so I can maintain these requests open or closed. Okay, so in this case, does not matter. It's just an example. I will maintain it closed. Okay. All right. I'm just created this part. Let's click here on finish. At this moment, CYPE Architecture is preparing the work set. Here is the main environment of the program. But first, I would like to show you that here on BIMserver.center Sync, automatically we created this new project. Okay, probably this one. No, it's creating yet. It's not finished yet. It's going to be created in a few moments. Okay, so we'll come back here later, and then we will see. Okay. Okay, so let's start with CYPE Architecture. Actually, yesterday we have been taking a look on this, but it was very fast. And today the idea is to show every button, every thing that we have here, and we'll be doing some examples, and then send information through the cloud and connecting with other applications. Okay, so here on the left side, we have these two panels. One of them is the views panel. We can create 3D views, elevations, floor plans, ceiling plans. For default, we have these views: the west, south, north, and east elevations, a 3D view, and a level 0 floor plan. But we can create other plans. Okay, we'll do that during the presentation. And then we have this layers menu where we can create different layers and activate and deactivate these layers. So we can assign elements to one layer, one specific layer, and then activate or deactivate the visibility of this layer at any moment. And then it's going to be easier to be modeling more complex geometries. Okay, so we have this system here. It's quite similar to Photoshop or maybe AutoCAD, any other application for 3D modeling or graphic modeling in general. We have this kind of resource. Okay, so we'll use that in a few moments. Then here we have some tools inside of this tab, the tab sketch. Okay, some tools that will help us to generate a sketch of our building, in this case our model. And then we have an architectural tab. Okay, this architecture tab, we have construction elements. In this case, we are not talking about drawings, we're talking about construction elements and spaces. Okay, and then we have a large library of furniture and sanitary equipment that we can add to our project anytime. Okay, so we'll do that in the end of the presentation. Okay, and in all the three selections here, we have this menu. That is the menu that connects this project with the BIMserver.center platform. Okay, so as you can see my name again here. So I confirm that I'm logged into this program. Okay, and I can export this IFC to the BIMserver.center platform, and I can update the information of the project and receive other IFCs that could be on this project and download it here to this project, and we can see these IFCs also inside of this program. Okay, so we are talking about probably having more than one IFC in a same project. Okay, one IFC to the architectural model, another one to the structural model, another one to the electricity model, another one to the plumbing facilities model. So we have a lot of IFCs that will be together, will be consolidating a unique Open BIM project. Okay, so we don't have one unique file, we have a lot of files that are together an Open BIM project. Why we have that? Because probably we will have a team, and this team will be separated. We will have different people working on the same project, and they will be using different applications for that, and we will generating different files for that. So we can we can consolidate the project using some tools, and then also generate, for example, bill of quantities of everything, or running our clash detection analysis and trying to check if this different IFCs clash in some point. But that's actually something for another presentation. Okay. And the last toolbar that we have here on this this environment, this program, is this common toolbar that we have here. Some information, for example, to change the background of the workspace, we can change for white or black or blue. We have some options here. Then we can change the units. We have here some options to change the units of the program. So we are working with the international system, but we can change to the IP system. We can actually edit this information and choose one of them, and then save this setup, this configuration, and then just upload again this configuration if we wanna do that. If it's something special that is not the one of these selections here. Okay. I prefer to use in international system. These are the units that I know. Okay, and we can configure the automatic updates of the program. For example, when we are every 40 days, 50 days, we are uploading a new release of these programs of BIMserver.center. So here you can define if you wanna automatic update this automatically update this program or not. Okay, here you can configure the options to print. There are some options here to print. You have the configuration to the styles of the documents that could be printed. Okay, and here any other 3D performance configurations. Just if your computer is fast or slow, you can change the configuration here, and you have a better performance of the software running in your computer. Okay. Here we have general tools like activate the orthogonality, the polar tracking. We have some kind of tracks snaps here, so a specific reference to objects that we have been we created before in the model, or some DWG or DXF files that we uploaded to the project, we loaded to the project, and we can use as a reference. So we have different files here. We will use that during the presentation. Okay. All right. Let's start with that. We already saw a little bit all the menus that we have. But I would like to explain the main concept of the project before we really start drawing here. So the main concept is this program is based on the Duality sketch architecture. Okay, so the idea is quite simple. When we start a project, when we start thinking about a new building, probably we will start with a sketch. Okay, we have an idea, we know a little bit what we want to do, but we are not sure. We don't know the construction systems that we will use. We don't know exactly if the place that we will construct have some different rules, and we have to adapt our geometry to that rules. We don't know the structural system that we will use. Okay, so we just have an idea, and that idea, the first step is to generate a sketch of that and start developing that idea. Okay, so we can we can think on this project in this first step with a sketch. Okay, could be a 2D sketch, could be a 3D sketch. Okay, so this is the first step. Okay, and we have this tab for that. So we have this tab that is sketch, where we can use all these drawing tools that we have here. Okay, lines, arcs, quadrilaterals, circles, ellipses, polygons. Okay, and then we can combine, we can divide, we can extrude, we can use all these tools here to generate a sketch, a 3D sketch of our building, combining these drawings here with these tools here. Okay, with that, when we finish this first sketch of our building, we can just change to this tab architecture, and then for each surface that was previously created on the sketch tab, we can add, or we can assign a surface to this surface of the sketch. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, and when we change to this second tab, we are talking about IFC elements. We are talking about BIM elements. So here we are generating our BIM model from a sketch, a 3D sketch that we created before. So with that, we have a lot of flexibility. It's very easy to generate the drawings here. We combining these elements, we can create amazing forms, amazing geometries that then will be very easy to transform to a BIM model with all the classification that we have on the IFC standard, and it will be ready to be sent to BIMserver.center, and then use it for a thermal analysis and a structural analysis, acoustic analysis, or any other application that we can have in our workflow. Okay. All right. The first thing that we have here are some reference, some grids. So we can create a grid adding here, for example, my first grid. This is my grid. I can give a name for that. Here we can add lines on the X direction and the Y direction. We can add any other line, a reference line, using another angle here. Okay, so we can define if these lines are where the tag is visible, if it's visible, if it's not visible, or at the orange at the end, or both of them. So the name of the label. So in this case, the label is A, but we could have a A, then a B, okay, then a C, okay, and then a D, okay. Then we can add, for example, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, okay. And here we have a number. We don't have, for example, here we have letters and here we have numbers. So here we have 0, then here we have 2, then here we have 3, okay. So we are just creating a kind of grid. Let's add another one here. That will be another one, 4, okay. And this grid will be visible on the elevation with this height. So it's going to be at 0 meters. We can add this grid, but actually you can have more, and we can have another one at 4 meters, another one at 8 meters, another one at 12 meters in height. So we could have different grids in different heights of our workspace. Let's say that. Okay, we can change here the color. Okay, and then we can see here we just created this grid. Okay, so it could be a reference to work on this building. Okay, this is one option. We can create this modular grid. Okay, but actually I prefer to create my own reference lines when I'm working, and I prefer to use these little guys here. Okay, so I prefer to draw my reference line when I'm working. So this is my way to work. We can do the same thing with arcs. Okay, we have here the option of creating arcs. Okay, and we can delete at any time. Okay, as you see before, I'm working in a 3D environment, and when we are working in this 3D view, we must select the level where we are drawing. Where is our drawing? Okay, so for example, I'm on the level 0. So I know that all the lines are in the level 0. Okay, we can apply a displacement from the level 0. Okay, for example, 2 meters above the level 0. Okay, we have this possibility too. When we go to a floor plan, we don't need to use this option here because we are on the level. Okay, so we don't have to do that. Okay. All right, let's start drawing something here. For example, let's use this tool here. It's a quadrilateral. We have 3 ways to draw this quadrilateral. So the first one is just adding 3 points. So the first one, then we can say that it is, for example, 4 meters. Okay. Then we have here it was the first, the second, and now the third. Okay. So here it's gonna be 12 meters, for example. So we have this rectangle here. Okay. A second way to introduce this quadrilateral, it will be defining the diagonal. So we can add 1 point and then a second point. Okay, with this width and height, for example, these are okay. So we have this option, and then we have a third one that would be defining here some dimensions, for example, 4 and 8, okay? And we have this rectangle here with these dimensions, or let's change that, 12. It's gonna change, okay? Or this 4, let's put 12. It's gonna change, okay? And then we can add, for example, an angle, 15 degrees. So we have this, or 45 degrees, okay? Oh, 45 degrees. So we have this option, okay? In this case, we have these adjustments. Where is the point? It's in the center or in the vertices of our square. So if I put on the vertices, we can select from here, for example. If we put on the center, we can put it on here, okay? So these are some ways to generate a quadrilateral here. But we could regenerate using lines too. So I could use just a line. As you can see, the software is asking us the distance between the points that we are adding here, the points that we are drawing. We can activate and deactivate this option of to define the dimensions here with this little button here. So if I turn it off, I can just draw something without the dimensions, okay? So it's free of dimensions, let's say that. Although I can see with that little orange letters, the size of that side of the, sorry, the size of the side of this rectangle. So 6.45 meters at this point, okay? Although it's the precision here, it's my hand or just the captures, the snaps that we have on the activated on the system. Okay, so I put it here, and I can finish, and we have a rectangle too. But could be, I don't know, a triangle, okay, or any other surface. Okay. When we create this kind of polygon, we have another tool that is this one, a polygon, okay? Because maybe the line was just something like this. It was not just a polygon, it was just a line, a reference. But if we are sure that it's a polygon, we can do the same thing. So we'll create some sides of this polygon. And the last one, we just use the right button of our mouse. So just a right click, and the polygon will close from the last point, okay? So we have this option to generate a polygon. It's very nice when we have these geometries that are a little bit more difficult. So we can use this kind of tool too, the polygon, okay? Then we have here some arcs. So we have two ways to add an arc, the 3-point arc. So the 3-point arc, first we select a number of sides of this arc. Actually, an arc, it's a combination of little lines. So we can select how many lines we wanna in how many lines we wanna divide this arc. Okay, so we can put from, let's see here, 4 to 256 sides. It depends on the precision that we wanna reach with this model. So with more sides, the arc is gonna be more perfect. But of course, we will have more lines, and maybe this model after would be heavier. Okay, so we can select that. And for example, I'll use this number that is here, 32. I think it's gonna be okay. It's a 3-point arc, so I will put a first point, then a second point, and then a third point. Okay, so I can create here my arcs using these 3 green points. Okay, and I can reverse the direction. So as you can see now, the direction is the other side. Okay, and in yellow you can see the center of this arc. Okay, so I'll just put here, for example. Then we can put another one like here, or if I wanna, I don't know, here. Okay, we have these options. Then we have here some circles, quite easy, just a circle, or you can fix a radius, for example, 4 meters here. Okay, 4 meters to we have to put, I don't know, 10, for example. So here 10. Okay. We have ellipses. In ellipses, it's the same situation that in a circle, just the difference is that we have 2 radius here. We can do that manually, so we can just add a first radius and then a second, okay? So a first, then a second. Okay, with this movement we can create an ellipsis. Okay, or we can set up this information here, for example, 10 and 20. Okay, and then we have our little ellipse here. Okay, or 100 and 200. Okay, and we have our big ellipses here. Okay. All right, so I think here we used all the tools that we have here. Okay, actually at any moment we can erase everything. Okay, and we can just go back here and go backward if we wanna undo something here. We can set up how many times we can press on this button. Okay, here at these configurations we have this little option here, and we can put the maximum number of actions to undo and redo any action that you have in the software. Okay. Okay, let's delete these guys here. Oh, before, let's do something here. We are in a 3D environment. Okay, if we use the shift button on our keyboard and then the roller ball of our mouse, we can do a 3D movement. Okay, it's gonna be an orbit movement. Okay, we can do this effect, or we can use this little button here, the 3D orbit. Okay, so it's the same thing. When we click here, we don't have to press the shift button. Okay, but if you don't click here, it just you are using another tool just with shift and the roller ball of your mouse, you can do this movement. Okay, if you don't press shift and use just the roller ball, you have the pen movement, so the little hands. We can move horizontal or vertical, but we don't change the angle of our camera. Okay, so we have these options. We could move for for example a floor plan here, but to be more precise, we can use these projections here. So we have here all the projections that we could have to this axis. So for example, this one is going to be exactly floor plan. Okay, and then we have any others here, other projections. Okay, but this is the floor plan. Okay, all right, let's delete some things here. Okay, let's start doing something a little bit nicer. So I'll start again with a rectangle that's gonna be, I don't know, 12 to 24, for example. And as you know, here this is the real dimension. I'll click here. We have this triangle, and then, for example, we can add. Let's suppose this is the floor of a house or an apartment. Okay, so this could be one room. Then we can create, I don't know, something. Let's use this other guy here. Another room that's gonna be here. Another room that's gonna be here. Then another room that's gonna be here. I don't know, just doing something here to try. Okay. Then maybe we can have a room that is circular, maybe here. Okay, something nice that could be here. Okay, maybe this information here. You can see the little lines that are used to generate circular arc or circle or ellipse. So this is the little segments that I was talking before. I would delete that. Okay. For example, I could delete these guys here, and when we delete one of the sides of a surface, we can just redraw one of them, and the surface will be generated again. Okay, so if at any moment we delete one surface, we just have to redraw one of these sides, and we have the surface again. Okay. So this could be, no, I don't know, a house or an apartment or something like that. I don't know. It's something strange. As you can see from above, the color is different from the color that we have here under the surface. So we have two colors. Okay, that's very important because until this moment we are working in with 2D forms, 2D geometries, but in some minutes we will start using some of these tools and we will generate a 3D object. So the side or the side of the surface or the orientation of the surface is important when we use these tools, and it's very important when we export this model to, for example, to StruBIM CYPE 3D, to structural calculation, and the orientation of the shells that we can add to this geometry on CYPE 3D. They will be the reference of this orientation will be the orientation of this surface that we have here on CYPE Architecture. Okay, it's one example that we can think about the importance of these orientations. Okay, so I can change the orientation of this surface just using this button here, inverting. Okay, just can change here, as you can see, blue and these two colors here. Okay, gray, blue and gray. And the better, or I think the best practices say that we must have the orientations an equal orientation to the same surfaces in a coplanar surface. Okay, so here doing this situation probably will have some problems in the future. Okay, so I think that the best way is maintain like this or maintain like this. Okay, we have both options. And then we can also change these colors. Actually, we can start changing the materials of this surface. So we can create these materials, or it's actually a classification. It's not exactly a material. It could be material, but actually could be just the name of the rooms or the use that I will apply to this each form, or the position. I can create my own classification here. So for example, I'll say that this is my kitchen, for example, kitchen. Okay, and my kitchen is gonna be red with two tones of red. Okay, the first one is gonna be red, and the second one is gonna be something like a pink. Okay, two surface. Then we can have the bedrooms, for example, bedrooms, and the bedrooms will be blue, the first surface, and the second is gonna be another blue. Okay, then we have the living room. Okay, the living room is gonna be green, and then another green, a different green. So like this. So living room. Then we can have our I don't know, our bathrooms, for example. So we can add our bathrooms here. They will be, I don't know, this pink, this high pink here, and another like almost purple here. Okay, we can create these materials. Okay, but could be material 1, material 2, could be I don't know, climatized or not climatized section, or could be I don't know, my first hypothesis, my second hypothesis. We can generate a lot of classifications here. It's you can choose that. Okay, we accept that, then we can assign the material to each surface. For example, I'll say that the kitchen, it's gonna be, I don't know, this element here. Okay, then we have I don't know, some bedrooms here, and then we can have it's something very strange here, our living room, and let's say that this one here is a bed too, and our bathroom is this circular space here. It's totally crazy. Don't worry about the geometry. It's just an example. Okay, and it's not a real case. Okay, but it could be a way to think on the geometry of this building. Okay, it's very easy to draw this. Okay, but we could do the same thing just using here the 2D view. If you prefer to work in a 2D environment, we can add here, for example, the I don't know, it's missing the important garage. Okay, so we can add our garage. It's going to be orange with a new yellow here. Okay, the garage. Let's say that this is the garage here. Okay, for example, I'll save that. Okay, this is quite nice. Okay, but now we have to extrude this this geometry and start generating a 3D object. Okay, so we can use this this tool here, the extrude tool, and we can set a length to this extrusion. So for example, let's say that it's 4 meters, okay? And then I can click on the surfaces and extrude the elements. As you can see, with this orientation of the surface, the extrusion is doing to the is doing under the surface, okay? In all of these forms that we have here, we can just invert all of them, okay? So let's invert everything here, and then we can use the extrude to the other side. Here you can see the importance of the orientation of the surface again, okay? So this is, we just have to click here, click here, click here, click here, click here, I don't know, click here and click here. And then we can click again, then we can click again, okay? We have these options, okay? I'll maintain like that for a while, okay? Another thing that is very nice here is that we can change the opacity of these forms, these layers, okay? Actually, these materials. We just have to come here and change, for example, these numbers here. Let's say they are all 50 and not 100% of opacity. What it means, it's going to be a little bit transparent, okay? And we have this effect, so it's much better to see inside of this little building here, okay? And something that we can do, it's just, for example, there's something very nice here. We can hide some elements. For example, just selecting an element. Actually, this element, we can hide it just on architecture. I'm sorry, not here on Sketch. We'll use that on the future. But there's something here that is very nice. That is the labels. So we can add a label to these spaces. So I can say that this is a bedroom, okay? And I'll say that the text is 0.5 meters, and I'll set a color. This is going to be a better. Oh, 0.5 it's not okay. Let's put like 2 meters here, okay? So this is a bedroom, okay? Bedroom. And then we can add the kitchen, okay? Kitchen. Then we can add the bathroom, and we can add the garage, and we can add our living room, okay? This is our living room. We can add these tags. It's interesting. Could be space 1, space 2, the first office, the second office. I don't know, any other classification that you want to tag. You have this option too, okay? That is very nice. More things that we could do with these tools here on the sketch tab. We can do, for example, an offset. What is an offset? Is this effect here, okay? We can do this effect here. If we maintain this tool activated, we press and the program asks a distance, for example, 2 meters. So we have this offset here, okay? And when we do in a geometry like this, the effect is quite interesting. So we can do something like this, okay? So this is going to be 1 meter, for example. And of course, when we generate this new drawings here, we can extrude just this little space here, okay? So we can extrude this element here, okay? Or just this element in the center here. And then we can extrude this element here. And then we can extrude this element here. Okay, so you know, it's very easy to extrude things here on CYPE Architecture, okay? Actually here it's quite nice because we can extrude from here and then take one of these surfaces here, for example, and extrude here. I don't know. And you have this kind of situation here, okay? And we can also, for example, mirror these elements. So we can mirror with a copy or just moving the object. For example, if we use the mirror move, let's use the orthogonality here. We will select the elements, then define an ax, and when we click, we move, and we create the symmetry and move the object to the other side, okay? But if we use this other guy here, that is the Symmetry Copy, it's almost the same situation, but we have a copy of this object here, okay? Then we can, for example, we can move the elements. We can select the elements here, select one of the points, of this object. For example, I don't know, this point here, and we can move everything and put it, I don't know, here. It's gonna be 2 apartments, no, with garage, 2 apartments with garage, I don't know, something like that. Okay, we can rotate using a nut. Okay, we can copy. Okay, we can copy these elements. For example, I'll copy these elements here, then here, then here, then here, then here. We are creating our building. Okay, it's very strange. The garage here in the 2nd floor, 3rd floor, it's not okay. This architect is not too good. But don't worry, it's just an example. You understood what I mean. But before doing that, let's separate this. Let's delete this new floors, and let's do something that we have here yet. And let me see. We have this option here that is scale, so we can just apply a scale factor to this all the geometry. For example, 20%, 1.2. So we have we will scale the geometry. And we can use this one that is quite nice, that is divide. So how it works? Let's suppose that we have this. Let's create here two cylinders. Okay. Let me deactivate this option. So 1 cylinder here and another cylinder here. Okay. And I will apply extrusion here. Okay. Oh, let me find it here. Oh, let's see what happened here. Maybe a little problem here. Maybe I don't know if the program will close or not. Let's try to maintain it working. Probably it's gonna close. Okay, no problem. We can open it again, and we saved our work before. So this was our example. Let's open it. Oh, so here we have our example. It was not finished, but no problems. Just let's keep going doing this using this tool here. So I'll create a first circle with this radius, and then another circle. Okay, with this radius, and then I will extrude this this geometry. So for example here, and then this other geometry with to the same height. Okay, then for example I could come here and select all this information here. So select all this information and move it to here, for example. Okay, and we have this situation. Okay, now we can divide the elements. So we can select everything here, and now if I come here, we could use the eraser to, for example, delete some surface here. Okay, and for example, delete these guys here. Okay, and we can have this kind of situation. Okay, so it's quite nice to generate composite forms combining different volumes. Okay, here we have a little line. Okay, and we can create this kind of geometry. It's quite interesting. Use this divide option. Okay, here we have a ruler. We can just generate a measure here, so a measurement here. So 48 meters. Okay, quite easy. And I think it's everything okay. Here we used everything here. And let's finish this guy here. Just put some height here. For example, 4 meters. We must invert before. Very easy. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and let's save, and let's change the opacity of our materials exactly how was before. Okay. Okay, so here we have our example, our sketch. Okay, so once we have our sketch, now we can go to our architecture. Okay, here in the architecture menu, actually we can start working directly from the architecture menu. If we don't have to to generate a sketch. For example, if you want to use a DWG or DXF file as our reference, or even an image like I don't know, a PNG file or a JPG file, we can upload these files and use it as a reference, okay? And start modeling our building directly from the architectural tab. It's another option. We have both options, okay? So if we wanna, for example, we wanna work directly from the architectural tab, for example, we can start creating our vertical elements. For example, here, some walls, okay? When we create these walls, we will set a reference, a name to this wall, okay? And then we have three ways to introduce a wall. The first one is using a polyline. So this polyline, we can adjust where is the axis of our wall, and we can select between facades or interior partitions, okay, interior walls, and then define a height and a thickness of this wall. Once we do that, we just have to start drawing our walls, okay? So quite easy, we can create our walls like this, okay? For example, here are this is our walls. We are creating directly using this polyline tool, okay? Another option would be to generate a wall using some points. In this case, we don't have a height because here we can create a first point, then a second point, then a third point, fourth point. We can create this wall. Okay, it's actually I made it on the same example. So here is the other wall. So we can create with a geometry that is not exactly a rectangle. So we can create a polygon, a regular polygon, to set the geometry of this wall, okay? And the third way that I think is the most interesting is using this one, per surface area. And we can add, for example, I don't know, here, this is a wall, 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 okay? This is a wall. So we have these options. We can select inside too. So you can see this is a wall, this is a wall, okay? Wall, wall. Let's put it here. Oh, wall. So here we are creating our BIM model from the sketch. Here is the Duality sketch architecture that I was talking before. Okay, so this is the main feature, in my view, the more interesting feature that we have on this application. Okay, maybe here inside this one, this guy, okay, this guy, this guy, this guy. I think it's everything okay. This guy too, this, and probably I know that one is okay. Then we can do the same thing with the horizontal elements. So we can create, for example, a slab, a screed or a slab using just the polyline. So for example, like this, it's not coplanar. No, it's coplanar. Okay. So we can create our slab. Could be an internal floor slab, a roof, or a screed. We can define the thickness of this element here. We can edit this information at any moment. So it's not 0.5, it's 0.3. Okay, and it's adjusted on the upper face. Okay, or we can use the same tool for a horizontal element using this one, the surface area. So for example, using this one, it's going to be a roof, and we'll say this is the roof, or this is the roof, this is the roof, this is the roof. Okay, if you see here, we have this little cube here where you can show or hide this sketch. If we hide the sketch here, we can see exactly our BIM model at this moment without the sketch. Okay, so this is everything on IFC. It's a 100% BIM model here that we are creating, and in the future we can export to BIMserver.center and use this building to calculate other disciplines, or generate our view of quantities, or extract our drawings. So we have this little building here. Okay, before we keep going with these tools here, I will show you some informations for these views and layers that we have a little geometry here, and we can use these panels here. Okay, so the first one is this guys here. We can create a 3D view. We can set some informations when we double click on these views. When the project is synchronized with BIMserver.center and we have other IFCs that are synchronized with this project, we can see the IFCs here, and we can activate and deactivate the visibility of these IFCs here. Okay, we will have something in the future. Here we can create the elevations. We have some elevations. Okay, and we can create more floor plans or elevations like that. So for example, I'll create a new floor plan. Okay, and this floor plan, I will say that is something strange. Okay, it's going to be a level that is 2 meters from the ground. Okay, so the distance from the ground is going to be 2 meters. Okay, then we can set up elevation level, the elevation level. Okay, so actually this is going to be 2, and where we want to see that, for example, 50 centimeters from this elevation level. And the same situation to the bottom plane. So the top of the plane, the distance from the top of the plane, and the distance to the bottom of the plane. It sounds a little bit difficult to understand, but you see when we create that. So I'll do that. And as you can see, I am slicing the model using these numbers here. Okay, so now it was 2 meters with 0.5 and 0.2. If we put here like 0.1 and 0.1, and accept, we have this situation. Okay, so we are slicing our building, our 3D model, and then we can go to a 2D view. For example, maybe here we have to put something better because it was not the best combination. So for example here, okay, and then we have our models here, or should be here. Maybe it's because actually we cut the end. We don't have the base and the top of our walls. Okay, but here we have the base, and we can see the color here, and then we can see the 2D view. Okay, when we go to one of these other elevations here, we can use also the same situation here, the same tools here. Let me see where they are. I cannot find it. Actually, here you can see the elevations. Okay, so we have some elevations here. Okay, and then we can add some layers. For example, we everything that was made before was made in this default layer, but we can create a new layer. For example, I'll create a layer that I'll call the walls, for example. Okay, and I'll say that all the walls will be assigned to this layer. Okay, so I'll select the wall, this wall, this wall, this wall, all the walls that I want to include. Okay, I can select them here, and I will add to this layer that I've just created. Okay, so this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, they are selected, and just right click on the button, on the mouse button, and now we can deactivate this wall. So some of them were not assigned, so I'll do the same to them. This. Here, there is a trick here that is very nice. We can first deactivate the layer that we wanna assign something, and when we press and right click, the element disappears, and we can confirm that we are adding the elements to the layer. Okay, so there is no walls missing here, so they are all here on this layer walls, and we can activate again here. Okay, at any moment we can deactivate or hide any element, but it's just a temporary hide. Okay, just because maybe I'm navigating on the 3D model and it's interesting to hide any element to see something that is behind, then I just have to show the elements again and everything is restored. Okay, and I'll delete these guys here. I'll maintain these other guys here. Okay, and what else we can do here? We can add any other some other vertical elements. Okay, we can add for example here some curtain walls. So the curtain walls will set a height for the panels some spacing to the elements that we have here on a curtain wall, and then we must draw a line, and then just go up and draw our curtain wall. Okay, then we can just edit this curtain wall if you wanna, and change, for example, the height. I don't know, it's gonna be 8 meters, and then the spacing is gonna be 2 meters. Okay, and the width it's gonna be 0.1. And accepting, we will see the difference of this, the difference applied in this geometry. Okay, the same thing we have for creating louvres. No, so this how can I say that? They are these solar protections that we can have. So it's the same situation. We can add here a line and then a height, and we have these elements here. We can edit this element and add, for example, a vertical type, not a horizontal type, or we can add a slope, an angle to this slats here, for example, 30 degrees, and accept, and we have this angle here. Okay, or the size or the spacing, we can change the information here. For example, I don't know, the spacing is going to be 0.2. Let's see what happens. We have this situation here. Okay, then we can add some rails, some railings, etc. Sorry, we have here on vertical elements, we have these railings here. We do the same thing here, but here we don't have a height. Okay, we just draw this line, and then we can set the height of this element, just changing the parameters here. So here it's going to be the height, I don't know, 0.9. Okay, the adjustment, okay, then we can put the width of the handrail, the depth of the depth of the handrail. If you have some posts, balusters, for example, I got 3 balusters with this size, and then a panel between them. Okay, I will accept that, and we have this kind of elements. I don't like those colors. We can change the colors. The handrail would be, I don't know, brown, and then the posts would be gray, and the balusters would be a darker gray, for example, and we can accept that. Okay, we can also do something like that. It's going to be, I don't know, an acrylic post, so it's going to be something transparent. We can add an opacity here, and we can see that it's transparent or should be transparent. One of them here, I don't know which one. Okay, probably the big one. Okay, so these are the railings. We have these options here. Okay, we can add all those elements. Now we can, for example, we can move them, and I'll put it here. Oh, it's gonna, it was there. Okay, no problem. But we can also create these elements using the snaps that we have here. Okay, so for example, this point, we can go this guy, then this guy. Okay, then we can edit this guy, change everything. Okay, so this is how this tools works. Okay, on vertical elements we have these options, and there's a last option here that is edit the geometry using the points, the vertices of this geometry. No, so as you can see, this rectangle here have 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 points. Okay, these 4 points, we can just select one of them and move this information. Okay, move this element. Okay, so we can do that, and we can move this guy here. Okay, actually I don't use too much this tool. I prefer to create a geometry using the sketch or the polygon, and I don't use too much this tool, but it's nice to adjust something in the end if we need to adjust any geometry that is not okay. We can just adjust using this tool here. Okay, to the horizontal elements, it's quite similar. We have been doing some roofs and some streets here. There's something very nice that is this situation here. Let's suppose this is a street, and this street is a circle. Oh, what is happening? Our circle is not working. Why? why our screen, our circle is not working? Yeah, in the 3D view. Because our sketch is hidden. Okay. Here, actually, we made two of them while we were hiding the sketch. So let's suppose that this is a circle. Okay, then we have another circle, and actually here we have a space. Okay, and we wanna do a grid with this, a slab with this. We have two options here. We can add this slab per surface, including or not including the openings on the surface. So let's suppose that we will not include. We have this effect. So if we deactivate the sketch, this is the slab, this grid. Okay. And if we do the other situation, including the openings, we'll do this situation. Okay. So we have these options too. It's quite nice. And we have the same situation on horizontal elements. Okay. We have this same situation here. Okay. Then here we have another element that is the suspended ceiling. Okay, we can add the suspended ceiling. I don't know. I'll do here. It's okay. We can set the size of the removable panels that we can have in a suspended ceiling. So first we'll define a perimeter. Could be a geometry that is not exactly a rectangle, okay, but must be coplanar. For example, this triangle here, and then we set the point where the first panel will be introduced. Okay, so I use that point. As you can see here, we generated the suspended ceiling with all the modulation of this suspended ceiling. Okay, quite. Actually, this is a huge panel that we created here, a huge surface with a lot of panels. Then we can change. We have two types. Let's see. We have a type that is the continuous or the removable. If we change to the removable, we'll see that this little size, these little rectangles are here, okay? And we can change that, change the size, the dimensions of these modular panels of to the suspended ceiling, okay? More things. What we can do here, we can create roofs. So this is quite nice because we can create, for example, this kind of slope formation here. So we just have to select some points. For example, could be, I don't know, this point, then this point, then I don't know, this point here, and then this point here, and let's finish that. And we generate this slope formation. We can edit this information because maybe it's too big. So the elevation could be, I don't know, 0.3, and the height of the drain could be 0.1, for example. And we have this kind of slope formation that is very useful for flat roofs. Okay, to create our system to drain the water that we have in a flat roof. Okay. Then we have here on roofs more options. Let's delete this guy here because it was a little bit too big here. Okay. Then we can add here some other elements, like for example roof tiles. How can we do that? Let's suppose that we have here one element that is, let's deactivate. Let's see what we can do. Let's deactivate this part of the model. And let's draw, and with the orthogonality, one line here, and let's transform it on a triangle. Oh, sorry, it was not here, it was here. Okay, and let's, for example, extrude this guy until here. For example, let's use this point as a reference. Okay, so we have a slope here, and then we can add here on architecture, for example, our roof, our roof tiles. Okay, so first we select the perimeter of this geometry, and then a direction, for example, to here. Okay, and the software will generate the tiles of this roof. Okay, so we can see here the tiles of the roof. Actually, it's quite big, this building we are creating. Okay, then we can add some details. Okay, we can add, I don't know, some details like reeds or valleys. We can add, I don't know, something like, for example, here, I don't know, Okay, we can add this kind of details of our roof. So probably it's going to be easier to generate all the triangles that we can have in a roof, in a house common roof, and then add these tiles using this tool. So it's quite interesting, this tool. It's quite easy to generate this kind of geometry. Okay. Then we have here structures. Yeah, we can add some structures. Actually, we are talking about architectural elements that could be part of our structure in the future. So we can do a column, could be a column, a rectangular or circular column. So we can change the size of this column here and just add some columns. So we can do that. The same for circular here, okay? And we can add some pins, okay? So these beams, we can set the dimensions of these beams, okay? And then we can, I don't know, just add some beams. It's quite bad, my solution here, but okay, you understand. We can use the snap tools to introduce these elements on our project, okay? I'll delete these two. Doesn't matter now. Then we can add the openings. So we have 3 types of openings. We are talking about doors, windows, and skylights. And doors, we can select some doors that we have here on the library of the program. We can set some parameters of this door. For example, if we have or don't have a glassed opening, which is the size of this glassed opening, for example, 0.4, let's say. And then the type of handle. Okay, we have some types here. The type of opening, so we have some types here, okay? Of course, the dimensions of the opening, so it's just one of the parts of the carpentry, okay? So 1 meter, for example, I think the standard is 0.9, and we can change the color, okay? I would like oak, so I'll use this green of oak. Once we select that, we can just go to our model and set the position of this window, this door, okay? So this is our door that was created to hook. Let's change the color. Now, green is not okay. Let's put brown like this, okay? We have the same situation. We can copy this board, for example, we can add another door just using the ortho position here. So add some doors here. As you can see, when we introduce the door, the aperture that we will have in this window, in this wall, because we put this door, it's generated automatically. So actually can hide this element and you can see this aperture, okay? And for the windows, it's quite similar. So it's almost the same situation. We have different types of windows here, and we can define here a height above the ground if we want. In this case, it's a diameter, but could be width and height. The type of opening, okay, so for example, it's going to be 2 meters, okay, and the colors, no, so this guy here, oh, I don't know, something like this, okay, and then I'll just put our window here, another window here, okay, and we can move or adjust or copy these elements too, okay. So these are the carpentries, so quite easy to introduce, so it's very easy, okay, and we can add some skylights like this. Let's say this is at 2 meters, and we can add these skylights here, okay. So here we can deactivate this extension because we will not use it, okay, and this right here, okay, so now it's working. We can add here our skylights, okay. Then we have some connections. Some connections, actually, they are vertical connections that we can have in our building. For example, the stairs. Okay, we can add a stair span. We can add. We have different ways to add a stair. I think the most useful is this one here. Is the stairwell. So we will generate the geometry of our stair combining different elements. So we can define the type. So the geometry actually. So this type, or this type, Some of them we have any other parameters like the rotation, if it's to the left or to the right. Then we can add some elements like if we want to include the left and the right railing, or the left standing or not, how many repetitions we want to do. For example, let's do 6 repetitions. Then we can set the size of the stair spans, so the width, the number of steps, the tree, the riser, if we have nosing or not, the type of the stair span. For example, this one is quite nice. The size of these elements, as you can see, depending on the geometry, we can have different parameters here. Okay, so here we have these parameters. Then we can change, for example, the material. Let's say this is material here. Okay, then the landing is the same situation. We define the size of the landing. I think in this case I have to 200 centimeters because my stair span was 100 centimeters. Let's try it and change the material if you want. For example, let's say that this is just, I don't know, 12 centimeters because it's wood. I don't know, something like that. And the railing, the characteristics of our railing, we can change the materials. Okay, we can change the type of railing, the size in this case. Okay, for example, this material here, it's quite nice. And let's accept. And we have this stair here. Okay, it was not wood, it was a kind of curtain steel, but this is our stair. What is nice is that from here we can separate and edit all the elements separated. So for example, we can move this guy here from another place with no problem. Okay, we can edit just this little guy here and change, I don't know, some parameter here. I'll change for this kind of stair. Okay, this color is not okay. Let's put something better. Okay. Oh, what happened? Maybe I didn't accept it. Here, it's gonna be here. I don't know what is happening here. I'm missing something, but okay. So we have these elements. We can move these elements. We can, for example, select everything and put it on a point that is. We need precision to point this stair. I don't know, something like this. Okay. We can choose the right point. We can rotate. We can copy. We can edit. We can erase. We have here a lot of tools to work with these stairs. Okay. Then we can do the same thing with ramps. We have ramp spans. Two ways to introduce the ramp spans. Then the ramp core. So the ramp core is the same situation here. We define a ramp span, and a ramp landing. For example, here is the same situation. And we have here a ramp. Okay. And then we can add, for example, a lift. So we can add a lift. So it's going to be the lift 1. We can define the size of the lift. Here's some information about the lift, the height, the width, and the type of opening, for example, to both sides. And then we add the lift, and then we can add the stops. The stops that we will have in our lift. So at 0 meters, then another one at 3 meters, then another one at 6, then another 9, and another 12. So each point of our building. So we can add these lifts. That is very nice that when we export this information to BIMserver.center, when we open on the web, we can click on a play button and the lift moves. It's quite nice to see this animation on BIMserver.center. Okay, and here we have this kind of curved ramp spans. Okay, we can create a curved ramp here, and so it's quite nice to generate these helicoidal ramps here. So then we can, for example, copy this guy from here, put it here, I don't know. Here we can create this kind of helicoidal ramps. Okay. The last point, the last element that we have here in our construction elements toolbar are the swimming pools. So we have 3 ways to introduce a swimming pool. Could be a circular swimming pool, for example, diameter of 10 meters and a depth of 2 meters. So we can add our swimming pool here. Okay, of course we can change the size at any time. For example, it's going to be just 1.5. Okay, and we can add a rectangular. It's the same situation, 4 meters to 10 meters, 2 meters depth. We can add it here, and we can create a swimming pool from a polygon. So we can just define here the depth and add a polygon, something quite strange if we need, if you want. And when we finish this polygon, we have this swimming pool here. Okay. So with that, we can conclude all the construction elements. At any moment, we can access this table here, that is the BIM model table, where you can see the parameters of all the elements that were created on the architecture tab. Okay, so we can see all the walls. We can change, for example, some parameters here. Okay, we can see all the curtain walls. You can change some parameters here for everything that we have created before. Okay, so we have a kind of table to control everything here. For example, if now I want to change the names of these walls, maybe it's going to be easier to change here than select each one of the walls and change there, or change the thickness of the buildings here. It's going to be easier to change here than using the model. Okay, so here I already changed it from 30 to from 0.3 to 0.2. And when I accept, everything is going to be changed to 0.2. So it's quite nice to work like that. Okay. And the last element that we must add in our building would be the spaces. So the spaces are quite important to the analytical models that we can generate to run thermal and acoustics analysis. So at this version of CYPE Architecture, the spaces, to introduce a space, we must create first a perimeter. Okay, that could be, for example, this must be a coplanar surface. That could be, for example, my kitchen. Okay, it was not a coplanar surface, it was something strange here. Let's do again. Now it's better. Okay, and these elements, these spaces will be used to generate our analytical model when we export it to BIMserver.center and use an application that we have for that is called Open BIM Analytical Model. Okay, we can change the names of these spaces. We can create a group of spaces, for example, department 1, apartment 2, or the level 1, level 2, or I don't know, any other classification that we want to create, and then set a height to this element. So I don't know, 6 meters. Okay, and change the color, for example. We can use the same situation that we have here. Maybe we have a little problem here because it's not changing. But we can create a new, because it was a new one. When I created it was a new one. Okay. And we can also use other tools here to like the other elements to move to copy, to erase these spaces. Okay. The last thing we have here is this kind of situations here. As you can see, these elements are quite strange here because when we created these surfaces, we used the center line of the walls to generate these walls. Which options we have here to do this corner right here? Okay, we can just select this guy and use, for example, the adjustments and do this kind of situation. Okay, and then here, for example, this kind of situation. This is one option, but maybe in some situations that's impossible. Okay, maybe it's impossible, and we must have this situation here. For those cases, we can use these addition tools that we have here. And there is one here that is quite nice, that is the extend face. Okay, so we can select it, and we can, as you can see, the snaps here are highlighting the surfaces in this this light blue. Okay, and we can select just this little surface here, and then say, oh, I would like to extend this surface until the same level or the same distance that this other surface here. So I can click here, and we have this detail done. Okay, so let's do again using this other guy here. So I'll select here and then here. Okay, or maybe I don't know if it's gonna work with this other surface. It's gonna work because it's not it's a slope. So we can use maybe any other elements that we have. Okay, we can maybe change this guy here. Let's try. But actually, that should be, this point should be here and not this point up. Okay, we should change the perimeter of the slope formation and not the wall. Actually, that's going to be the best combination. Okay, and we can do the same for everything. We can, for example, use this surface here. Okay, so we can move this surface until, I don't know, here. It's something very strange because now this wall it's quite big. Okay, if we go to our BIM model here, let's see what happened. We cannot see here. I don't know where it is. But the idea is this wall is quite big now. Of course, it's just an example. But you can change the position of the surfaces of your architectural models using the same kind of tool that we use it to extrude our sketches. Okay, at any moment, I would like to regenerate, to revert the situation. I just use this tool here, regenerate, and click in that object, and we will return to the original position. Okay, here we can delete one surface of the building. Okay, watch out, it's just one surface of this wall, not all the building, except when we select all of them, for example here. Okay, but we can select one surface and delete just one surface. Okay, and here we can divide, cut by plane, and subtract elements between them. Okay, so quite nice. The last point, the last tab that we have here is the furniture tab. It's quite easy. So we can go to a plane view, for example. Let's say it's our plane view, and let's put some furniture. For example, this is a bed. We have here different types of beds here. I invite you to download the program and take a look on these elements that we have here. There is a lot of BIM elements here. Okay, the size of our building was quite strange. Okay, because actually we made a scale at any time. Let's do something. No, let's maintain that. So we can add our elements here. We can add, I don't know, some chairs. Okay, here I like this chair. Let's say that is a blue chair. Okay, we can add our chairs, and we are using this reference here. Okay, we can put the level 0, for example. Then it's going to be on the level, on the surface of the ground, the terrain, the ground floor. Okay, we can add, I don't know, some tables, for example. We have these little desks here, dining tables, timber, metal, rectangular, round. We can change the material, could be, I don't know, a glass with opacity, a transparency of 60%, for example. Okay, then we can add here. Then we can add, I don't know, a refrigerator. I don't like white, I would like to have a dark one. So let's change the color. I put it here. Okay, we can add, for example, a computer. We have here two sizes of computers. Okay, we can add this computer on this surface. Oh, we have a problem here. Yeah, we have a problem here, but we can change the height of this computer. For example, we can hide this guy and just change the height of this guy. If we don't have the parameter here of height, we can go to the BIM model, the same situation that we saw before on the architectural tab, and we can look for the computers. This is our computer, and the Z coordinate, it was 0. We can add, for example, 1.2, okay, and 45 degrees of angle. And now we have our 1.2, that was too much. Okay, we can also move this guy and put it somewhere. Okay, we have these options too. Okay, these are the furnitures. We have a lot of them here. We have structures, we have cabinets, we have computers, cookers, and shelves. Here we have some chairs, some counters to offices, for example, some worktops, some tables, some sofas. We have here the refrigerator and the storage, TVs, okay, microwaves. So we have here a lot of type of objects. And then we have the bathroom fittings or the sanitary equipment. So here we can add a sink, for example. This sink, for example, could be with a cabinet, with a footer, with different sizes, with different details for our tabs here. So individual or mixer. Okay, as you can see, we are changing this element. And it's nice because when we introduce these elements here, when we export to BIMserver.center and open at CYPE Plumbing, for example, to calculate the plumbing facilities, these points will be recognized on CYPE Plumbing, and we can start creating our plumbing facility from these points and calculate considering the information that comes from this part of the project, from the architectural project, so the architectural model. Okay, so these elements that we have here on bathroom fittings have this kind of utility. You can add here these elements, and they will interact with other applications. Okay, so here we have some elements that you can add. Okay, here you can move, you can copy, you can rotate these elements or erase elements as we made in the other tabs. Okay, that is okay. Let's save that. And the last step here, for example, could be nice to generate a layer just for the furniture, for example. I like to do that, furniture, for example. So I will, I think, I don't know, this element, this element, this element, this element, this element, this. The computer is here. And this guy to the furniture layer, right button, and now, yes, they are on the furniture layer. Okay, so this is how the layers work. Okay, let's save that. And then we can export this information. So we will export this information. I will say that this is the architecture.ifc. So this is our architectural model. Okay, this is our architectural model.ifc. So this is my first model using CYPE architecture. Okay. We can say that it was very nice. So I will put a smile here. Accept. And at this moment, the program is generating this IFC and exporting this IFC to BIMserver.center. Okay. And we can see this project in the cloud and on augmented reality or in virtual reality, or open this architectural model in other applications. Okay. As you can see here, a local copy of this IFC was saved in this folder. It's exactly the same folder that I was talking before. Here, this folder here. Okay, and as you can see, the synchronizer is uploading this architectural model.ifc to our project example at 21st of July. Okay, and when this process is finished, we can see it on the cloud. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, I think it's okay. Let's go to BIMserver.center. I will open here my account. And as you see here, if I go to my projects, you see that this example, 21st of July, it was automatically generated. And we can see what we have here. Let's load this platform. Look, now we are working just with our browser. We don't need any software to open the 3D models, the IFC models here at BIMserver.center. As you can see, here is our model. Okay, a combination of a lot of things here, but this is our model. Okay. Okay, so we have here actually two layers. One layer is the 3D sketch, and another one here you can see the furniture that we made out now. Okay, and another one is just the 3D sketch that was the reference to generate the architectural model. Okay, so this is the CYPE architecture. I will open just some other projects here that are quite nice For example, this one here, I love this project because it was the project that we have been talking before, the train station. So it's going to be one of the examples of the software during the next days. It's not available yet. We are finishing that. So it's a very nice train station that was created using the sketch tools that we have on CYPE Architecture, and the results are quite nice. As you can see here, it's a floor plan. So and we can see that the parking lot here in both sides of the train station. Here we can see two tracks with some trains. Here is the main building, but we can just rotate and see it better. So it's quite nice, this model. Okay. I have a lot of layers here, so I created this layer just to the, for example, some layers to the arcs, another layer to the beams, another one to the columns, some layer to the roof. Okay, so it's easier to see inside of the building. We can deactivate the arcs, for example, here, or the slabs, for example, here. Okay, and maybe the beams here. Okay, and we can navigate inside of our building and the curtain walls, for example. Then we can see through our building, and we must finish the furniture. It's not finished yet, but it's almost finished. Using the sketches, I made this trains here is just a reference, okay, to have an idea about the space that one train could occupy in our platforms, okay, and in this little car here too. So it was made everything with these sketches here, okay, something just to illustrate illustrate the position of the cars here in this parking lot, okay. And here we have some windows, some doors, sorry. And here we have some floor plans, for example, the downstairs plan. Here in the downstairs plans, we can see inside of the breath rooms. Here we can see the ticket desk of this train station, some restaurants that we are creating here, some little stalls here like fast food or juice stall or coffee cafes. So we have these options. Okay, it's quite nice. Here on the downstairs, as you see, we created this slice of the 3D model because these parameters were defined here. Okay. We can go to the 3D view if, for example, use these guys here to see in another projection like these, or maybe like this. It's quite nice. Let's activate, for example, here the curtain walls again, the arcs and the curtain walls. So the results are quite nice. Okay. And any other project that we can have here that is nice. Let me see if I have something here with other IFCs. I don't know if this one it's not working because it's a old project and that is not working. It was just a beta project that we were creating before. I don't have any other with IFCs here, I think. Okay, but okay, that is no problem. So this was the CYPE architecture. Tomorrow, during the presentation of structures, we will see a workflow that we can use the geometry created here on CYPE architecture, export this geometry to BIMserver.center, and use this geometry to generate a structure on StruBIM CYPE 3D. Okay, so we can generate, for example, here transmission tower, for example. We can draw the transmission tower using these tools here, export to the system, and then open on StruBIM and calculate there. Okay, so we have this kind of situations. Tomorrow we will see a little bit more. Okay, but now it's 11:40 here in Spain. I will open a little moment for questions if you have questions. Let me see. So here Khalid is asking us if we can add several view windows at the same time. At this moment, Khalid, we don't have that feature yet, but it's a very good suggestion. Thank you very much. Under it said the corners don't seem to connect properly. How would you resolve that? I think we answered that using the tools that we have for that situation. So it was this little guy here, the subtract or extend phase. Okay, so we can solve this that kind of problem. Okay. Let me see more questions. Hello, the corners of the sorry, and Android. The answer is we left to the end. Okay. Is it possible to have the depth of the B different in different areas? I think, yeah. Okay, of the pool. Yes, we actually to the pool you can't do that. Not in this first version. Maybe in a future we can think about that. That's a good suggestion too. Thank you, Fouché. And Jerome asked three things here. Is this software point cloud friendly? Not yet, Jeremy. And can you create your own window and door type? Not yet, too. And can you create a walkthrough like in Revit to present design to the client? Not yet. Okay, Jeremy, we are just releasing the software, so the software is quite new. We have actually just 10 days. And remember that is a totally freeware software. Okay, so you are creating this kind of geometries that you saw in this train station, for example, with a freeware software. And remember, everything is classified according to the IFC standard. Okay, so at this moment, these three points that you are asking, they are not possible yet. But I invite you to try the software and use it a little bit and export this information. In any moment, you can export the 3D model in other formats that are not BIM formats, but maybe could be useful to other softwares that you want to use. For example, exporting in DXF or DWG using 3D DXF or DWG. Okay, so that's an option. You can export that and maybe open these formats in other software if you want to use that. Okay. And I think this is the last question. Let me see. No, we have one more here. Ryan Skinner, can you create something like the Eiffel Tower? I will say that's possible. Let me show you something that's quite nice. It's not, of course, it's not the Eiffel Tower, but it's something very, very nice. I think you understand. Let me open here. So actually, this is part of the presentation of tomorrow, but I will open here just to have a look on this model. It was created just using the sketch tab. Okay, so we can create this kind of geometries here. They are just lines. Actually, we don't have the surfaces. The surfaces were erased, and it's quite nice because here on CYPE Architecture they are just lines. Actually, here in architecture we don't have anything. But when we export it to BIMserver.center, then we can characterize these bars, these little lines as bars on CYPE 3D and generate the structure of this building, okay, or this element, okay. But I will show that tomorrow when we do this workflow. I think it could be possible to draw the Eiffel Tower. I don't know, maybe could be possible, okay. Let me see if we have more questions here. Let me see, just a second. I think we don't have any more questions. I thank you very much for coming and staying with us until this moment. 1 hour, 45 minutes of presentation. Thank you very much for your presence. I hope it was good for you, and I hope you come back tomorrow to see the third presentation of the version 2020 of CYPE. For me, it was a very nice moment. I really enjoy working with this software. It's quite flexible, and we have a lot of options here. Okay, so see you tomorrow. If you have any questions from today, tomorrow you can ask too. Okay, don't worry about that. Maybe try to download the software and install in your computer and try using that. It's going to be a very nice experience. So see you tomorrow.